welcome to the Blindfold Chess Podcast.
Hello everyone, this week we are looking at the youngest Alberta champion, at one point the highest rated bullet player on chess.com, the highest rated active Canadian player, and the founder of the YouTube and Twitch channels, the Chessbrahs, Eric Hansen. Born in 1992 in Irving, California, at a young age he and his family moved to Canada. He first learned how to play chess around the age of 9. Around that time, he was also diagnosed with ADHD. He was quoted as saying the longer the chess games were, the harder and harder it was for him to concentrate and stay focused. That was also where he learned to enjoy faster games, either in blitz or bullet time controls, since there wasn't enough time to be distracted. In a 2015 article, he said he was prescribed Ritalin temporarily and enrolled in a school for children with learning disabilities. A couple of years after he started playing chess, in 2003, he participated in the Alberta Provincial Under 12 Championship, where he scored first with a score of 5 out of 6 and established his provisional Canadian rating of 1316. Quickly, his Canadian rating started to skyrocket. By the end of the year, he was at 1400. By the end of 2004, he was at 1800. And by the end of 2005, he was at 2050. In 2006, he participated in the Under 14 Alberta Championship and the Alberta Junior Championship, going undefeated in both and winning both. 2 years later, with his Canadian rating above 2300, Eric won the Under 16 Alberta Championship. He finished first at the Alberta Championship, and he finished in a tie for first at the Alberta Open to become the youngest Alberta champion in history at the age of 15. But he wasn't done. In October, he played in the World Under 16 tournament, finishing in a 4-way tie for second out of 73 players. He earned his FIDE Master title by breaking through the 2300 FIDE rating barrier. He also came in second for the Canadian Chess Player of the Year with 44% of the 1,947 votes. He lost to Shyam Thandavarian, who received 47% of the vote. The following year, he picked up his second Alberta closed victory with a tie for first, elevating his FIDE rating to 2400 by the end of the year. In 2010, he swept the Alberta Under 18 Championship, making him the winner of the Under 12, Under 14, Under 16, Under 18, and the Alberta Championship before he was 18 years old. That same year, he also earned his International Master title. 2011 was a busy year for Hansen. He picked up his second Alberta closed victory. He also participated in the Canadian Zonal Championship. With a score of 7.5 out of 9, he tied for first with Bator Sumbev, earning himself a spot in the 2011 FIDE World Cup. The FIDE World Cup is a knockout tournament with the winner advancing to the Candidates Tournament. Eric came in with a FIDE rating of 2449, which was seeded 124th out of 128. In the first round, he faced the 5th seed, Vugar Gasimov, rated 2760. Eric was eliminated, going 0-2, and in a post-match interview, he noted, quote, "I got paired against Gashimov, and he killed me. It was a good experience because I realized I wasn't serious enough to be competing with these guys. It was good for motivating me." End quote. Once that tournament concluded, Hansen attended the University of Texas on a chess scholarship for 1 year. It was also around that time that he started to use the name Chessbrahs as one of his usernames on various chess websites like the Internet Chess Club or ChessCube. He also started to do live broadcasts of him playing on a website called Livestream, which was shut down in January of 2025. In an interview with La Presse, he commented on the inspiration of the name. Chessbrahs was like chess bro, intending for it to contrast the stereotype of chess players being solely introverts. As the Chessbrahs brand developed, he started introducing other players like Amon Hambleton, Robin van Kempten, later Fabiano Caruana, Magnus Carlsen, Yasser Seirawan, and several others. In 2012, Hansen saw himself climb to number 30 in the world top 100 junior players. He won the Canadian Open again with a clear first out of 78 players. Eric was also invited to play on board 4 of the Canadian team of the 40th Olympiad, where he performed incredibly well, scoring 7.5 out of 10, with a FIDE performance rating of 26.46, earning him his final Grandmaster norm and raising his rating above the 2500 threshold. He became the second youngest Canadian to become a Grandmaster. It historically has been more challenging for players in North America to achieve the Grandmaster title, as one of the requirements to earn a norm is having a performance rating above 2600, and you need at least 3 players that are Grandmasters from different countries to be competing in that tournament. Toward the end of the year, he played in the American Continental Championship in Argentina. More than 200 players participated, with the top 4 qualifying for the 2013 FIDE World Cup. Hansen finished in a 5-way tie for first. Since there were only 4 spots available, the 5 winners had to play rapid tiebreaks to determine who advanced. Hansen finished in 4th to grab the last World Cup spot. To cap off of the year, he also won the Canadian Chess Player of the Year award. The next year, he found himself tying for first with Nigel Short at the Canadian Open. He also found himself back at the FIDE World Cup. This time, he was seeded 98th out of 128. However, he was again eliminated in the first round to Vladimir Malakov, who was the 31st seed, with a score of 1.5 to half. In 2014, he returned to the Olympiad, this time on board 2, scoring 5 out of 9. 2015 saw Eric back on top of the Canadian Closed, this time in a 3-way tie for first. Invited once again to the Olympiad in 2016 on board 4, Hansen exceeded expectations by finishing with a score of 9 out of 11 and a performance rating of 27.38. During the tournament, he knocked off several Grandmasters, including Sam Shanklin and Andrei Zygalko. Starting in 2017, Eric became the player/manager of the Chess.com sponsored Pro Chess League with the Montreal Chessbrahs. Later, they were rebranded as the Canada Chessbrahs. Over the years of the event, they have had varying levels of success from a host of strong players, including Jennifer Yu, Fabiano Caruana, Anish Giri, and Magnus Carlsen. At the start of 2020, their YouTube channel clipped over 100,000 subscribers. In April 2021, they broke through 20,000 Twitch subscribers, which was the highest count for chess content. In 2022, Hansen participated in the Air Things Master Tournament, finishing in 5th out of 16, but more importantly, he defeated both Magnus Carlsen and Jan Nepomniachtchi in that event. As of writing this, Eric is still an active player. He is sitting atop the Canadian rating list of active players by over 100 points, and he is rated 150th in the world. The Chessbrahs YouTube channel has almost 350,000 subscribers. They've amassed 170 million channel views, and their Twitch account has over 330,000 subscribers. For today's game, we are going back just a couple of years to the World Blitz Championship of 2019 in Moscow. Eric Hansen versus Alexei Kim. Now, if we're ready, let's begin.
1. Pawn to e4. Pawn to e6. Two. Pawn to d4. Pawn to b6. Three. Bishop d3. Bishop b7. Four. Knight f3. Pawn to g6. 5. Castle kingside. Bishop g7. Six. Rook e1. Knight e7. Seven. Pawn to a4.
What is Eric's idea here of playing pawn to a4? If you said trying to play the pawn to a5 to soften up the b6 square, you're correct. And also there could be ideas of playing pawn to a6 to cramp black's position even more. And there are sometimes the pawn on a6 really helps out in the endgame as just providing an extra nuisance for black with limited pieces on the board.
Pawn to a6. Eight. Knight b to d2. Castle kingside. Nine. Pawn to c3. Pawn to f5. Ten. Pawn to b3. Queen c8. Eleven. Bishop a3. Rook e8. Twelve. Pawn e captures f5. Knight captures f5. Thirteen. Pawn to h4.
What is Eric's idea behind the move pawn to h4? If you said trying to attack the g6 square and trying to make the king side weak, and also there are some ideas of playing pawn to h6 to cramp black a little bit more and possibly leverage that pawn in the endgame. So it's the same idea that he used on the queen side, just now on the king side.
Knight c6. Fourteen. Pawn to h5. Queen d8. Fifteen. Pawn h captures g6. Pawn h captures g6. Sixteen. Knight e4. Knight c to e7. Seventeen. Queen d2. Knight d5. Eighteen. Knight e5. Bishop captures e5. 19. Pawn d captures e5. Queen h4. Pawn to g3. Queen h3. Bishop f1. Queen g4.
The move queen to g4 is a costly mistake for black. Can you see how Eric pounced on this opportunity?
Queen captures d5. Bishop captures d5. Knight f6 check. King f7. Knight captures g4. Rook h8.
Black is currently threatening checkmate, with the bishop that is on d5 and the rook that is on h8 both targeting the h1 square. Can you see how Eric defended from this threat?
Bishop g2. Black resigns.
The calm bishop to g2 was enough to get black to resign in this position. Black is currently down a piece, and white now has control over the h1 to a8 diagonal, the a3 to f8 diagonal. The knight that is on g4 is targeting heavy hitter squares in black's camp, and white has solid places for his rook, with rook to d1 and the other rook currently sitting on e1. Being the best active Canadian player, the youngest to win his Province's championship, the second youngest to become a Grandmaster, and beating Magnus Carlsen and Jan Nepomniachtchi in the same tournament, Eric has been an excellent role model in using his platforms to break the stereotype that chess is confined to introverts, and he has found ways to work through and around his ADHD. Eric has helped inspire hundreds of thousands of players from across the world. So that is all that we have for this week. Tune in next time, where we will continue to work on our blindfold skills and look at another game of the Masters.